everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Doug. Sorry for the first stream, we was having some technical difficulties. I'm trying OBS today, which is different than what I've been doing. Yesterday we were having problems with Streamlabs, and today I switched over to OBS. Seems like we're having some more technical difficulties. But let's see how the show goes. Like I said, I'm not used to doing this. This will be my first time running a full show on OBS, so just sit tight. Maybe this thing will roll, and we'll be able to crank out some shows this way. So, let's get on into some comic book news. I don't have a whole lot today. I've got just a little bit, but I thought it was really interesting. We'll roll on here into... Well, now I'm having some difficulties with this. Give me just a second here and we'll pull up some... try to pull up some... something for you real quick. There we go. There we go. I'm almost booming it up here. You guys are going to have to look over me. I got a couple things for you. Paramount picks up comic book movie Harbinger from Sony. Now, this is a Valiant comic. I've read some of the 90s stuff and some of the newer things. It was pretty cool. I've not been keeping up with it as of late. Valiant seems to kind of be dropping the ball on some of their stuff. I've noticed they've, instead of using really good artists, some of their stuff looks kind of janky and stuff now. But let's look over this real quick. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, actually. So, Harbinger, the adaptation of superhero comic published by Valiant Entertainment, has been scooped up by Paramount from its initial home, Sony Entertainment. Making the cross-town segue are also filmmaker Justin Tipping and the script by Tipping and Joshua Byrne Golden, working off an original draft by Eric Hessinger. Now, you'll have to forgive me on these pronunciations. I'm from the South, and I don't pronounce things very well. Also remaining involved is his producer, Neil Moritz, who was key in the transfer and who moved his first look deal from Sony to Paramount in 2018. Moritz will produce with Toby Jaffe and Valiant Comics' Dan Mintz. I don't know any of these people. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let's look over this little bit here. It says, Harbinger tells the story of a group of superpowered teens who rebel against the corporation that tried to harness their abilities for its own end. The project was to have shot this summer or fall and had actors Dylan O'Brien and Noah Centineo circling, but is no longer on the fast track, say sources. The plan is to have Harbinger undergo a short development process at Paramount before moving forward with the same creative team. The move has several potential repercussions. First, Valiant is a notable publisher of comics not gobbled up by a media corporation, but now owned by DMG Entertainment, which fully acquired the comic publisher in January 2018 after having an initial stake. It stands apart from other indie companies such as Image or Boom in that it maintains and continually expands a cohesive narrative across its titles like Marvel and DC. And that's one cool thing about Valiant. All their books are tied in together. Some of them might be kind of loose or whatever. But when something happens in the universe, it affects everything. It's a lot closer knit than what Marvel or DC is, because obviously they don't have, 50, 60, 70 years of continuity and all these reboots and stuff like that. It's just a very small roster with a lot smaller universe. So, and also, I believe that they have, right here it's talking about, they have Bloodshot, which it was rumored to have Vin Diesel. So I'd like to see that, it's a little bit different what's going on. We got a lot of Spider-Mans and Batmans and stuff like that. It'd be nice to see something a little different from the norm. And also in news, we've got from comicbook.com, Joker director Todd Phillips says you can't beat Marvel. So his movie apparently wins some award and gets a standing ovation, but he says that you can't beat Marvel. So let's give this a quick read here and see what they're getting at. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has proved to be one of the biggest and most unstoppable franchises in cinematic history. Nearly 24 films into its run, and the superhero films crank out interconnected hit after interconnected hit, each seeming to earn praise from both fans and critics alike. On the other side of it is DC Comics, which have been a little bit less successful in building a shared universe on the big screen. While movies such as Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad have managed to make money at the box office, their theatrical cuts haven't exactly been fan favorites. As a result, DC seems to have found their stride in making individualized films, which will be emphasized more than before with the upcoming Joker. And I think that's a good idea. Justice League, it was rushed, and they're like, oh man, Marvel's got these huge team movies. We got to get something out there. We've got to have the whole universe at stake, blah, blah. I don't want to see that personally. I'd rather see Batman fighting the Joker or fighting some other threat. Clayface would be cool. Anything like that. I think these movies, it's almost like the comics. The threats just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it's completely ridiculous. Where are they going to go now on Avengers? Where can you go from Thanos destroying the whole universe or half of the whole universe? They're going to have to scale it back. That's all they can do. DC should have never rushed all that stuff out. Now, this might be a little bit controversial there, but I like Batman versus Superman. It's not a perfect movie, but it's a fun movie, and I like it. I liked it when it came out. I think that a lot of the reason it got bad press was Rotten Tomatoes. And now people are starting to realize that those people are full of poop, and they can't believe what they say. But here, let's continue with this. According to Joker director Todd Phillips, this was the exact line of thinking when creating the Mad Villain's unique film, which exists in its own disconnected world. You can't beat Marvel. It's a giant behemoth, Phillips said. Let's do something they can't do. Which I like this, now that I read more about it and kind of get what they're going for. Maybe the Joker movie makes more sense to me. DC used to do like the Elseworlds books and alternate realities and stuff. They had a Batman that was on a planet where he was like a prince, and they fought all these monsters, and he wore bat armor, and there was one where he was like a futuristic person, and they did that with a lot of their books. This could kind of be the same thing, an alternate universe Joker. Let's get a different look at the Joker. I think that's cool, but I'd also like to see these ideas continue forth with their other movies. I wouldn't care to see a Joker that fights the Batman. It doesn't have to be this Joker. I wouldn't care to see, which a lot of fans are clamoring for this, and everybody would love to see it, a Batman Beyond movie. Make it happen, DC. I don't know, people would be throwing money at you. I don't know why you haven't done it yet. So let's see what else he says here. Furthermore, Phillips crafted not only an isolated film free of ties to a larger world, unlike Marvel's movies, but he also created an R-rated thriller which offers intense scenarios and darker themes than any from the competitor. You want to root for this guy until you can't root for him anymore, Phillips explained of his titular character, one of which descends into madness and violence. This is kind of where I have a problem with this. We want to make all these villains relatable. We want to make you pity them and be like, oh, well, maybe if I was like that, I would be bad too. Well, maybe. But I miss the good old days when a bad guy was just a bad person. It wasn't circumstance that turned them into a bad person. It was just that they were a bad person. They're the bad guy. They decided to do this. This is the way it is. But let's drop the news there. I do have a few indie comics I kind of want to hit on. Actually, I have one. On the Needle Movers last night, which if you don't know about the Needle Movers Society, go follow it on YouTube. I like to stream with those guys quite a bit. We talk to indie creators and promote indie books, and you get to know people, and it's pretty cool. But last night we had the creator of the Grim Reaper on, and the Grim Reaper, the story is really cool. The Red Baron was a bad dude, and when he died, they made him the new Grim Reaper, and him and his children, who are also Grim Reapers, have to fight a mad scientist who's reanimating the dead. It's just a really cool concept.